Oh yeah, here we go. Another day, another dollar.
Another recap.
A recap, baby. Divisional round recap.
Got the Rams and Packers, man.
Man, let's jump right into it, big dog.
Hey, Jalen Ramsey was talking all that mess.
Oh man, yeah,
All
he
that
was.
mess. And then they put him in that motion
Ugh,
because, he was going to follow Adams. But that motion hurts almost every single DB, man. When you get put in that situation where you're already near the linebacker and you make that you see that receiver make that quick move back to the outside, it's hard to cover that, especially when it's a flat.
oh yeah.
I mean, no one is that quick to
Big time,
recover.
big time.
Big ups to Jalen Ramsey. I mean, he's almost like a number one or number two defender in the league. So, I mean, he had a tough task. I like what happened though.
I think a lot of people need to also understand when you have a balanced team like the Packers have, their run game is, you have to pay attention to that, especially if you're a corner. If they don't help with run support and that running back gets on the outside, it could be over.
Right.
So they're not just completely focused on their wide receiver. They also have that duty too, and that goes unnoticed and unspoken about. But it's something that really plays a factor in it. If you have a good tackling cornerback, then
Yeah.
you could present some points off the table.
Yeah.
Now Goff, he was firing it in there, man, as much as he could.
Yeah. He didn't have too much time. Green Bay's D line's not too bad when they send four.
Oh yeah. The one thing about Goff, he's gonna read that seam route down the middle, and he's accurate enough to get it there.
Yeah, Green Bay's D line has been pretty active throughout the year, and they really showed up against the Rams O line. They
Right,
put him in a lot of bad situations.
right.
It was a really good showing by that Green Bay D line. It really helped the corners play out, able to cover a little bit more better,
Oh yeah.
recover and whatnot.
And you got Aaron Rodgers scrambling, making plays happen with his feet.
Yeah, I mean I figured it was gonna happen the way it played out. I had the
Ugh.
Packers 28-7. I mean, it was a little bit of a better game from the Rams, but I mean, it is what it is when you're
Hey,
when
the
you're playing
Rams.
from behind. You're
The
gonna
Rams started off, strong, man. They had
Yeah.
they forced some field goals,
right
and they were,
bending and not breaking.
until this break by Aaron Jones, man.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah, it was a hell of a run.
that's the problem, man. You can't just keep focusing on Aaron Rodgers because they have a hell of a running game, man. And it's the one that the guy can break it. He can break it, and he'll make it happen for you, man.
Oh yeah, and they run plenty of RPOs throughout the league, throughout the game. So
Big
it's
time.
like you got to be really on your p's and q's to hang with this team.
Big time, big time.
And the Packers, I mean, they're somewhat a favorite every year, and I kind of hate to say that being a Cowboys fan, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he's trying to solidify his status among the other QBs. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I mean, he's still fighting for number two. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it was a hell of a game by him.
Well, hey, Mahomes is right there. If he does back to back this early in his career, man,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Aaron Rodgers, who?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta start putting him up there.
Yeah, regardless of, I mean, it's AFC as well. So
Just to be the dominant team in the league multiple years in a row,
and
and
quarterback.
be off of offense, not
Yeah.
not defense. Usually, it's a defense that has the dynasty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Offenses don't typically last that long.
Yeah, but the way they've been playing, I mean, they're averaging what 5 touchdowns a game.
Oh yeah, man. So you got to think about that. So the Packers, they handled up on their business against the Rams. I don't think anybody expected the Rams to really go in there hard.
Right.
Now let's go into the Baltimore versus Buffalo game.
Oh yeah, your team lost, huh?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. This was a defensive game until late in the game, man.
Yeah, it was.
It was 3-3 at halftime, and going into the third quarter,
A whole bunch of question marks throughout the game too, man.
Yeah, I mean, and also missed kicks. Like
Yes, that's true.
the
Justin
best
Tucker missed twice.
the best field goal kicker in the league is for a while anyway has been Tucker, and he missed two. So for it to be 3-10 in the third quarter, you already know what's happening. Lamar Jackson is driving down the field. He had a situation that never happens to him, and he threw a red zone pick six. He never throws those. So, I hear a lot of people that want to talk about this guy, but they forget this drive where they were driving down at will on them.
That's right.
And it just threw a stupid pass that every quarterback throws. Sometimes you feel like the guys can't stop you,
right,
and you throw that pass. Like they were driving down off of like a 60-yard play before that pick six, and then he's literally never in his career thrown a pick six that close to the red zone. Usually he's going to score. So those are things that you just got to work on. You got to improve. And unfortunately, he got injured right after that, so he didn't even have the chance to work himself back. Because they were only down 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
If Lamar Jackson is there with a full fourth quarter, I don't know if they necessarily are going to lose that game. But props to the Bills. I've been saying that they've been good this whole year.
Yeah.
I've liked that division. I like the Dolphins, even though they didn't get in. To have quarterback issues that they had and still almost get into playoffs, I think that I respect them. The Bills, unfortunately, for the Ravens, they just ran into a balanced team. You know, I've been saying this for so long. The difference between Lamar Jackson's year and Allen's year is that Diggs has been there to be the number one guy on that offense.
Right.
And when you
there's no run game.
Right. There's no
other than Josh Allen.
Right. And it's kind of similar to the Ravens. They're very similar teams. Mm-hmm. The difference is the X factor being a wide receiver like Diggs. Is Hollywood a great wide receiver? He's a fantastic wide receiver, but I don't believe he's a one. And I believe that when you have, and when I say a one, I mean a true one. There's only a handful of them out there, man, that can really change the game for you and win the game sometimes. Sometimes you need a receiver or a running back or a playmaker to win the game.
Right.
And, and Diggs has that ability. He can go in and get those first downs when he's triple covered, when he's double covered. I don't think Hollywood's there yet. He's very, very fast, and he can outrun the coverage, but that's not enough at the pivotal moments. Sometimes you need somebody that has every route tree in the book. Right. Sometimes you have people that are going to be able to do like DeAndre Hopkins and snag on 3 dudes at one time. Like those are wide receiver ones in my book, and I believe that Allen having that one was able to get the hump, get over the hump, and obviously the injury, but it's football, so injuries happen.
Yeah, I had the Bills. I think it was position 5 as far as like rank 5, but that was like late in the year. You know what I mean? Right. The Bills have suddenly trying to get over that hump as well.
Right.
And Josh Allen, he's a playmaker, and what sucks is he's gonna take probably more carries this week than he did last week against the Ravens. He had 11 carries, 50-something yards and a touchdown, maybe. I mean, he's gonna at least have maybe 15 because they might not have Zach Moss back. So them running against the Chiefs is not going to be ideal. And if they're going to make Josh Allen run the ball more, I think that's going to hurt the Bills in the long run, especially in the third and fourth quarter.
Right. Well, the thing about Josh Allen is he has plays where he throws those ill-conceived balls, very similar to Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. Can Kansas City force the Bills to play on their pace? The Bills and the Ravens are, like I said before, are identical. So that's why they had a 3-3 game in the third. Mm-hmm. You can't have no 3 points. Ask the Cleveland Browns. You can't have no 3 points at halftime and legitimately expect to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. Barring some crazy situation, which we're jumping right into also. So you just got to think about that. Like, we can't football's football and people get injured. But going into 3 points into the halftime against the Chiefs isn't the best way to win. And the Cleveland Browns found that out. They could not stop Williams 31 the whole game, and Kansas City they didn't even really take advantage of it the way they could have. You know, I mean they were peppering these guys. They were just killing these guys with these shots with Hill who was unstoppable, and Kelsey who was unstoppable, and even Harmon started to get his own you know thing set up too. So
Right.
the Cleveland Browns defense was just getting shredded early with
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, and it was really looking like it was about to get ugly for a while. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. There was some, there was times throughout the game where I was like, well, you know, they are just a team from Cleveland, but there was also times where Baker was looking A1 and going down the field and making it a game. Now, I've never been a believer in Kansas City's defense. They are somewhat aggressive, but I think they're still spotty in some areas.
well they have that defense that typically lends itself to great offenses. Bend but don't break. They're not gonna give up a whole bunch of points, but they'll give up yards.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give up yards. Like notice that the difference between Kansas City and Cleveland is they're kicking field goals and they're making touchdowns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in the long run, I think for Kansas City, they're this year they're more mortal than last year as far as their offense goes. I think their offense can be stopped a little bit more compared to what they were stopped last year. They may have scored more, but I mean that could be like red zone or 1 yard runs and things like that. But I think when Kansas City goes up against the Buccaneers, there's gonna be times where the Chiefs don't really move that ball that well or score as much. It might be a low scoring game. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game at all. I think the Bucks defense is gonna be a little bit more aggressive
The
than they were.
Bills.
I mean, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thinking already Super Bowl. Well, I'm expecting Kansas City to get past the
Right,
Bills
right.
for sure.
Right. I got you.
Damn, I'm already putting Kansas City in the fucking Super Bowl. Well, I mean, I already did regardless.
Yeah,
That was
well-
my pick.
Well,
but,
I mean, speaking of Bucks, that brings us right to the divisional game with the Bucks and the Saints.
yeah, I'm so glad they beat the Saints.
You know,
Super glad they beat the Saints.
what do they always say? It's so hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah.
And early in the year, when they stomped them out, I was like, man, it's not looking good for them. But
They
you
stopped
already
them out
knew.
twice.
Yes, but the very first game, remember,
Mm-hmm.
it was before they had AB, and he threw all those. He threw a pick six. He was out there really looking like Jameis. And you saw those Jameis Winston memes.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they started to get better. They demolished Green Bay, earlier in the season. And
Right.
then they got AB back. And then right after they got AB back, they got to play the Saints. I think that was good for them. This is what I'm referring to when I tell these guys teams like the Browns, the Ravens, and the Steelers
Right.
are not getting battle tested. The Buccaneers literally got their ass whipped, and they had to evolve. Instead of just beating up on 10 Atlanta Falcon teams, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every division has one, so
Right.
it is what it is. But when you're playing these divisions, these whole divisions of mediocrity, and you're padding your score, you're not really getting battle tested the same way these guys are, because the Bucks taking those lumps in the regular season were equipped and went into this playoff game ready
Yeah.
to go, and that's what you saw, man. You saw them say, "Nah, sorry, Saints. I know you guys had a good answer for defense and stuff like that before." Tom Brady, he cleaned up his throws. He got his guys to be able to play more efficient football.
Right.
The routes got better. Their accuracy and communication with each other got better. So they started to perform better on offense. And on defense, nobody scared them on the offense, on Saints offense, if you noticed it.
Yeah.
Nobody scared the Buccaneers defense on the Saints offense. They
Nah, they had
they had an answer for Kamara.
and for Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas was completely shut out of the game.
Harris had a punt return. That was about it.
Yeah, but you know,
And
special
Jameis
teams.
Winston had a touchdown.
Special teams is special teams.
Oh, that was called back too. Never mind.
Special teams isn't even defense. You know, that's its own entity. But when you're just referring to the defense aspect, they did a great job on the Saints.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when if you can't put up numbers on the Bucks and you let their defense get after you, they have a solid defense. So I mean, this was big for them. This was very big for them. Now beating your rival, and knowing that you took these guys out after they kicked your asses twice.
Right.
I think this was the perfect kind of momentum they needed to take them to the next level and play the AFC champion game with the Packers.
Yeah.
And that's where we're actually going to go now, shifting everything to the prediction aspect of it. We'll start at the AFC since you wanted to go with them earlier. We have the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And you are saying who's going to go?
I got the Chiefs winning.
You got the Chiefs. What's the score?
Let's go 17 Bills, 28 Chiefs.
17-28
Yeah.
Chiefs. All right. I also have the Chiefs winning. They're a part of my playoff bracket that I had. I believe it's going to, well, and this is all pending Mahomes being healthy.
Oh, he is.
As long as he's healthy and he's good to go, I think that they're going to spank these guys, man. I think it's going to be 31-10.
31-10.
Yeah. Now, going to the NFC Championship, we got the Bucks, who came in as the number 5 seed, and that is a seed that has, in the history, won it all.
And I believe they're the only number 5 seed because of those 2 losses to the Saints, right?
Right. They couldn't win the division. Right. The Saints won the division. So you got to think about that. They were division champion quality, but just, the regular season is regular season. So I'm going to let you go for it. Who do you got?
I don't even know.
Packers, Bucks.
I mean, I really want to see Tom Brady in another Super Bowl. So I'm going to go with Bucks. Oof. I'm going to go with Bucks 28-20.
All right, 28-20 Bucks.
Yeah.
I have been rooting for this Buccaneers team ever since I heard about everybody that's going to be on there. I actually liked the Buccaneers last year when they had Jameis. I thought this team was, missing something, but they were definitely on their way. And adding Tom Brady, adding AB, it's the only thing that really made me feel like Kansas City has a legit contender. Like obviously it's football. On any given Sunday, you can be beat. But in these moments of playoffs, I think the best teams win. You know what I'm saying? If there's not an injury or something crappy that happens at the end of the game. But if you're playing straight up, the best team wins, On this day, if the Bucks can win, who I'm picking the Bucks. The score will be 28-21. I think that the Bucks just get it done, man. The weather, I don't know if it's going to be conducive to field goals, but I think that these guys are going to play each other, and touchdowns are going to be what's going to make it happen. And we're going to see a similar trend. We're going to see Evans get a touchdown, AB get a touchdown, and Godwin get a touchdown. And who knows, maybe Gronk makes an appearance too, and that's how they get their 4 touchdowns. But that's what I got.
Well, it could be a snow game and the tuck rule could come in handy for one of the quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's true. But I just think that with the way they have Fournette and Barber and Jones, they're all going to be running. But when you have a toss up, when you have like a game opportunity and you're throwing that fade, Evans gonna get that touchdown in the red zone, just like Adams is. Yeah. You know, but the Bucks don't just have one Adams; they have three, and I think that's gonna be why they lose. You know, the firepower is just too much. Yeah, that's even in the snow game. I just think they just have too much talent on that offensive.
Yeah, and that's because the Packers just signed one of their OG vets, Tremont Williams,
right,
as a reinforcement or insurance type of deal in case somebody gets hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it's just who do you double? If you don't double Evans, he's gonna get a touchdown on you because he's gonna snag on everybody.
Man, I mean, it's hard to go against the Packers, like I said, because their D-line is really well, and the offensive line for the Packers isn't tip-top shape. That's the only thing that's going to be iffy for me. So, man, we'll see. It's going to be a great game. I still got the Bucks winning.
What the Bucks did to Breeze.
That's Breeze.
I hear you. I hear you, man.
And that's a old frail Breeze, and this is a healthy Tom Brady.
No. Well, the Bucks defense is playing Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So, and they've put him in a bad position before. Yeah. When please let's go back to this game that they played before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Changes are going to be made.
They figured out how to minimize that connection between Adams and Aaron Rodgers. Yep. And they only got better on the offensive end. So I'm tending to believe that the Bucks are going to be able to keep going.
Yeah, like I said, I got the Bucks winning still, but I still think it's going to be hard to go against the Packers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, the Packers are undefeated at home. Well,
this is the first time Aaron Rodgers is hosting a conference championship.
Yeah.
In Lambeau,
So I mean, those two things typically I would say would be lending his favor. Mm-hmm. But the one thing about the Bucks, they've already shown they don't care where they go. You know, yeah. They're 2-0 on the road this year in the playoffs. So they have all the swag in the world when it comes to going somewhere else and beating the team.
Yeah, until you get punched in the mouth.
Hey, well, that's why we play the games, right?
Yep.
We'll find out who will be able to say my stats matter more. And that's going to be how we do it. Last week, what did you finish with? I finished 6-4.
I think 5-5, maybe.
5-5?
I'm not too sure.
All right. So this week right here, we're going to be going for it. Did we pick the same guys?
Yeah, we got the same team. Okay. Kansas City and Bucks.
Okay. Well, so we won't have a change in it right now, but you're down what is that, 1? Down
Mm-hmm.
1? Okay. So...
Or I can be 4-6. Shit, I don't know.
Man. But I'm pretty sure you're right there. You're right around. You closed the gap last week because I was 3-1. No,
you went 1-2.
1-2. I was 1-2, and you were 3-0.
3-0.
3-0. There you go. Okay, so we're gonna find out what happens next week, and then we'll do our Super Bowl picks and all that stuff.
We'll definitely do a Pro Bowl team.
We'll do the Pro Bowl team as well, so you'll be able to see.
We'll do it for the Streetz team.
Who got it? Oh yeah, for sure for the Streetz team.
Thanks.
All right, so here we go, guys. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Later.